Okay, so far so good. Mic check is looking good. Basically, I have 3 hours, 2 if I'm lucky, before maintenance. And I am, in fact, live. Well, how to do, everybody? I am Rip, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. Yeah, sorry I didn't do a stream last week. Things got a bit, sticky again. But I'm back. Last we left off, we entered the Wild West lands of Tony. We still are. Huh. After we just kicked out the old deputy for corruption of law enforcement, being a general shit. Also, I decided to try out the new Dawn Blazer attire. I think it looks pretty cool. Not really what I'd want to wear for my main job, but I'm gonna see how it goes with this flavor. The only issue I have with it is that I can't really see my character's eyes in the front. But we make do. Not that we have the bracelet. Let us return to Shishnas and Wesley Springs. Will you be staying there long? I'd like to give you a proper thanks after I find my friends. We weren't planning on it, but there's no need to rush. We'll see you at the springs then. Bracelets, thank you so much. This is more than just a gift. It is a part of me I could never hope to replace. Truly, Hooklamont is blessed to have such devoted friends. Well, I wouldn't put it quite that way. I prefer to think of us more as long-standing acquaintances. Regardless of how you choose to describe it, there's no denying the depth of your bond. Though I'm sure you'll continue to do so. Can't say I'm surprised the Deputy Chief turned out to be the bandits' leader. I always knew something wasn't right about him. An easy claim to make with the gift of hindsight. There you are! The real Daybreakers have arrived! I'd like you to meet my 2 best friends, Quikana and Liwan. If it wasn't for you believing in Zekwa and doing what you did, they'll be locked up. I have no idea how satisfying it was to see that bastard Wahute behind bars.
We never gave up hope, tried everywhere we found a way to get us out. You always motivated the Daybreakers. Glad I was able to convince you to go along with this plan. Fortunately, our group is smaller now, lacking in strength besides Some outlaws might see us as an easy target.
Even so, if anyone should get the dust wall to slip, Daybreakers will be there. We'll train night and day so no one will get the better of us ever again. Isn't that right? Right. And you'll teach us how you draw your pistols so fast, won't you?
Well, we won't need to duel if all goes as it should.
But on the off chance it doesn't, we'll make the best sure everyone can match or beat my speed. We owe you a great debt, and one of these days I'll be sure to repay it. On that, you have my word. Until we meet again. If you'll excuse me, I shall find a quiet place to rest. As I'll be here a while yet, though, do let me know if there's any way I can be of assistance. Were you not planning to take the train home? Oh, train service has been suspended. Didn't I tell you? You mentioned no such thing. Something about the tracks being damaged in the last quake. The tunnel was closed as well. An earthquake must have happened when we were still down south. There have been quite a few tremors of late, and a rather large one struck not long before you two arrived. I can only hope no one was hurt. At any rate, if you want to know when service will resume, you can speak with the station master yourself. Let's do that. The station is just over there. Seems people aren't too happy about the train delays.
I'm so sorry, but we're not sure when the train will be running again.
You've got to be joking. Of all the places to get stuck at on the way.
Please don't tell me you've come to complain too.
We heard that the earthquake had caused disruptions and wanted to ask when operations would resume. But I see that it will be a while yet.
I'm afraid so. Too few hands for too much work. It's time-consuming enough to inspect the tracks after every quake, but this last one we got after the succession ceremony was massive. Made a mess of a whole bunch of railroad ties.
The succession ceremony? We would have been in Tuliolal at the time. If it was as violent as you say, we should have felt it as well.
I have to admit, it was a touch strange, having seen my fair share of tremors. If I had to describe it, it felt more like the rumbling from an explosion.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Seriously? You're offering to help?
What about you, my friend? If you'd rather strike out on your own, I understand.
A train!
If you were willing to lend us a hand, too, we'd be truly tremendously grateful. Thank
Right.
you! Thank you so much! I'm Shenza, by the way. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. If you would please step inside, I can introduce you to everyone.
Sorry for dragging you into this.
Yeah, it's alright. Wait a minute.
There they are. That's them, the 2 volunteers. Walika is our station master, and over there is our top driver, Nitoikwe.
It's a weak way.
And this grizzled mug is Zoppia, an engineer who joined around the same time as me.
Huh?
Much obliged for the help. I'll make it worth your while, I promise.
We found them. They're source counterparts.
Something the matter?
It happened.
Oh? For a moment, it looked to me like you were just dying to say something.
We all have our secrets. Best not to pry. Right then. What I'd like you two to do is help us procure timber. We'll be using it to fashion new railroad ties, so it needs to be the strongest stuff we can get. In these parts, that means the trees in the Piata-Yonan Plain. It is Hetsaro territory, though, so we need to get their permission first. Come on, no time to waste.
Oh, no small number live. No small number live in Shaloni. I confess I've never visited the home of the Hetsuro. As they largely live in accordance with older traditions, I suspect they may have a dim view on the railroads. No, let's follow Walika. There's another station on the way, so be sure to drop in. The trains will be in the depot, but you can still see it from outside. I'm quite taken with the sleek design of the head end myself. Though if you peek through the windows, you'll probably catch a glimpse of... Enough jammering, Shinza. Thanks to these two, we finally have some real work to do. So let's get to it. We'll see you later. I suppose there's no harm in stopping at the station. It's on the way, after all. Looks like this Glenn may actually be working out better than I thought because my character's always looking up. I must confess, the train is an impressive sight. How easy it must be to ship goods through the wilds now. Right. And Watsoan should be to the northeast of here. Let's continue on. There you are. Village is just up ahead. Truth be told, I've never had direct dealings with the people of Metsoan. But I do know that traditions mean a great deal to them, as does the land. Oh, such lovely clean air. Feels like a treat out of the overpowering ceruleum of Chisenwezi Springs. Waters nearby are just as pristine. It's a paradise for people and animals both. I'm glad you appreciate the blessings of nature as we do. Greetings, travelers, and welcome. I am Hawato, chief of Mewatoan. This is my son, Shepetto. A pleasure to meet you. I'm sorry, his hair reminds me of a sheep. and the name, too. I thank you for the warm welcome and apologize for our sudden intrusion. I'm Walika, Station Master of Zaktaral Raylan. The recent earthquake has damaged our tracks, and we require timber to make repairs. This is Valzin and Araville, who have volunteered to assist us with the restoration effort. I am small. You have the most curious air about. No, wait. Oh, crap. You have a most curious air about you. Of oil and steel, and leather, and the faintest hint of fresh fruits. But not of any sort with which I am familiar. I gather you are not from these lands. I hail from Myosia. Truly? I would love to know more of you and the lands you have seen. I got stories. I have told your people hold your traditions in the highest, yet I gather you are curious of those of others as well. But of course, nature is boundless, as is our love for her lands and her children. The Hetso, in particular, have done much to guide our way of life. Where to hunt, where to gather, to lay our heads. The Hetso teach us all these things and more. It's for that reason, I believe, that we are attuned to the shifting winds around us. Let's see. The word Hetso, it means leader of souls in Hetsar tongue, does it not? It does. There are many creatures revered as Hetso among the Hetsaro. Here, we look to the Ronique for guidance. However, as you may have gleaned from our use of Aetherites, while we are committed to our traditions, this does not mean we reject all outside influences. That said, there are certain things that give us pause. Like, we will furnish you with the timber you require. First, as neighbors in this land, we ask that you indulge us in a discussion. We'd be glad to, of course. Wonderful. We do not often receive guests come such a long way. My son is always so delighted to hear their tales. Now, if you follow me. I will speak frankly. I fear the winds of change will soon bring misfortune to the land. The Ronique, with the potential for danger plain. As you may have heard, their temperament has become erratic. Stableman near Hasasui mentioned that. Do you know what has caused this? We have our suspicions. Since others were drawn to this land by ceruleum, Shaloni has undergone a transformation. And the railroads are a part of that. As strong and resilient as they may seem, Ronique are sensitive creatures. The roar of the train as it thunders through the plains may well cause them distress. As my father said, we do not reject outside influences or innovations, but in this, we can't help but worry.
Understandably, I thank you for being forthright. This matter concerns not only Hatsaru, but all of Shalomi.
Perhaps we should bring it to the attention of Valcona.
Valcona, you say?
We know him only through rumors. But he is apparently...
How should I put this?
hard-headed and aloof. He values technological advancement and efficiency to the detriment of all else.
Mind your tongue.
While there is a grain of truth in rumors, he's not nearly as bad as they make him out to be. He's a bit awkward, so he tends to get misunderstood. Is that so? As we adamantly have never met him ourselves, perhaps we were too quick to judge his intentions. Nelson fought beside Valcona in the right of succession. I take his word over rumors. You took part in the right of succession?
You're that close to the Dawn servants? I was grateful for any help, but I had no idea I recruited a bona fide hero.
This fiction of Dawn servants filled us with uncertainty for the future, but there is clearly much we do not know. On this particular occasion, the winds of change are not meant to be feared. No, we must open our hearts and mind. We might see Valcona for who he truly is. Do you think he might visit someday? Just as his father offered us guidance, I'm hopeful that he will do the same. Thank you for hearing and allaying our concerns. I'm glad we could speak. As for your timber, we have freshly cut logs near the lake. Please, take all that you require.
We're truly grateful. Promise we'll keep the Ronique foremost in our minds as we continue working on the railroad. And if needs be, we'll seek Valcona's counsel. My thanks again for your time in the timber. We shall endeavor to return the favor.
I hope to see you again soon. Meh. We have more than enough timber to fix the tires.
We have more than enough timber to fix the tires. Now we need to transport to the station, which will be a bit more involved than I thought. I didn't expect we'd be given so much. I'm waiting here to spell while I round up a few more hands and a Ronique. Won't be long.
Glad that went well. Thankfully, it seems we won't need to make several trips for the timber.
Oh boy, here we go.
While we wait, we could get started moving the timber somewhere more accessible. It shouldn't be long if we split the work. My size gives me super strength. I mean, look at it. It's big enough to hide 4 of me. Maybe 5 if maybe 5 or 6. The Lalafell are freaking ants. Small in size, but great in strength. I think this will be enough. That was mighty kind of you to move all that timber. Sorry we didn't make it back sooner. We'll see to the rest. Once we repair the tracks, we'll have you on the first train out of town. Get that right, Chief. As much as I'd love to make it so, there aren't many spots available. We'll have to wait for the one after, I'm afraid. But you'll be riding free of charge. It's the least we can do to repay your kindness. That's fine. Namika and no few others who were here long before we arrived. It's only right they go before us. I hope you'll stop by and see the train off. The breathtaking sight, let me tell you. Nito Weekway will be driving. No engineer compares to her. It's always a treat to watch her work. The only work we should be worried about is our own Shenzhen. And we still got more to do. Or find somewhere near the station to pass the time. If there's anything else in Shalom you're keen to see, I'll leave it to you. How'd you feel of the sights? Well, they appear to have almost finished. Here we go.
Grand machine indeed. I hope Namika was able to secure a seat.
Here she comes!
There she goes.
Thanks to you, we managed to resume service much faster than anticipated. You have our gratitude.
There's nothing so enchanting as a cerulean-powered engine in motion.
Ain't that the truth? Don't think I'll ever tire of watching them chugging along. They make wagons look like toys.
And so long as we can lay the tracks, she can go on and on and on. Before you know it, she'll be crossing the entire continent.
Railroads are a somewhat recent addition to Tyrol. As it stands, we can only ferry folks as far as Yasolani. And from an operational standpoint, we still have much to learn. There's always some problem or another to deal with. But we'll keep working at it. We'll hone our craft and continue expanding till one day, our trains are running coast to coast. That's the ultimate dream.
Not gonna lie, I like the sound of that.
Goodness, I completely lost track of time. By now, I expect the train will be nearing Yasolani. When it returns, we'll see you on your way. So if you've got any preparations to make, you better make them quick.
Is that another earthquake you're mentioning?
Another one? You can't be serious.
Lightning? Did someone summon Ramu again? Huh?
Gods have mercy.
Huh? What?
What in the flying? What's happening? Oh, the train. Nitobekwe and the others.
My home lies that way as well.
This ain't good.
We're going to investigate. Right now!
Go. Huh? What? That is much more advanced than what the Guardians could ever do.
What in the world? Are they heading for Tuliyollal?
We need to follow that airship. Oh, fuck.
Heavens forfend.
You're here. Good, good. They came from the sky and attacked without any warning. The people need our help.
Can you stand?
Try to remain calm, everyone.
What the?
I don't know what they are, but they're not men.
harvesting people?
What did it just do?
Thank you.
Save the thanks. Just get to safety. I'll hold the line here. Fall back to the palace. Quickly, before it's overrun.
Thank you, Bako Jaja.
This is simply how I do things now. So, who wants to taste my blade next?
Mysterious woman. Mysterious twink lady. Eh? Cyber lizard. Pale?
That you should still live.
Zorolcha?
By the gods. What has happened to you?
This is your butchery, isn't it? After everything you've done in service to the throne, how could you betray us?
My demand is simple. The dissolution of Tuliolol and surrender of all its territories. Refuse, and I will kill every last one of you.
You could attempt.
Have you gone mad?
No, my ambition remains unchanged. To teach the masses the folly of war, that they cry out for peace, and thus unite the world.
What has changed you so much and in so short a time? To harm the very people you swore to serve. This is an unforgivable deed committed by my son. My son!
You have heard my ultimatum.
should be the one to do this?
No. His sins are mine to bear.
Fear not. Ozoralja is strong. He has never been Father's equal in combat.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
It hasn't been that long since the Rite of Succession.
Farewell, Zoralja, my son. And forgive me. What is he, fucking Terminator?
Despite his old age, the mighty Gulul Jaja remains a fearsome foe indeed. You retain the vitality of two souls, despite the passing of one. I shall even the odds.
Papa?
Even the blessed are mortal.
Father!
You are no match for me.
Murderer. On my honor, as vow of resolve, I'll make you pay!
So the once faint-hearted girl would live up to her title. only to demonstrate the disparity between us. I give you a chance to prove yourself. Rally the entirety of your strength. Lay siege to my kingdom. Strike me down, like I did father. Then, will you be his worthy successor?
Sriracha, wait!
My warships will remain in your skies. When you fail to prove your worth, I shall order them to lay waste to Tuli Yolal. Choose your next steps wisely.
Yep. No. Papa can't die. He can't. How? How could this happen?
Enough. I am beyond saving.
Father, please. You can't give up.
Are you there, oh friend?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Look after my children.
What? I'm an old fossil like you. I've only got so many years left. But if that's what you want, it would be an honor.
You and I must go on another journey together someday.
Aye, you can count on it.
Oglamat. Kona.
Yes, Papa.
The graves of the Yokoi. You saw them, yes? I always found their teachings comforting.
Please, Father, you must save your strength.
Our flesh may wither and die, but so long as we are remembered, we are never truly gone. Through you, my hopes survive. Through you, I live on. So do not mourn me. Walk tall and see our nation to a brighter future.
Damn it. Damn it. I'm not crying, you are. I'm not crying, you are. Moment. Right. So, Valvoklamat, Valkona, I bring word for the city. The enemy has withdrawn, and the lands guard have been rendered aid to the people. Casualties within our ranks have hindered progress. We continue to do all we can. Thank you for the report. Please, inform the guard that they are to prioritize such efforts until further notice. The people. I need to help them. We will assist you in whatever way we can, of course. Thank you. Thank you. There are sure to be wounded everywhere. More than I could count. We'll split up and help all of them. You can count on us. Elfino, Alize, could you take Bayside Bevy? Kyle and Erinville, the palace perimeter. As for Valzen, please come to Resplendent Quarter with me. We'll all meet back here afterwards. Okay. I am small. I am small enough for you to pick up. Allow me to be your emotional support, Lalafell. Ominous clouds. I think I'm alright. Did you see them? Those soldiers? They looked like people, but they killed and killed with no hesitation. They attack us again. How can we hope to defend ourselves? Thank you, sir. But my husband and son, they were...
My thanks. I'll be fine now. We failed to protect the people. And so many have to die. Where are Val Wuklamat and Val Kauna? I understand, I do, but I need to clear my head.
Thank you. I thought that it was done for. Something disturbing. The enemy leader, they said he looked like Zoralja. That can't be true, can't it? Why would the first promise attack his own people? If it was him, what happens now? Is he going to come back? What do we do if he does? I don't know why I made him Italian. Yo, the pain is better now. I can't stop shaking. Where did they come from? Why did they attack us? Why are those things still in the sky? At peace on the Gundul Jaja, we were safe, but now... Oh, there they are. You finished aiding the people here? Mm-hmm. Thank you. There were children among the wounded. Children! No. It's the time. There are still others who need help. Would you go and see how things are at Talon March? Afterwards, go and find Alize at Bayside Bevy. Since there was no evidence of significant damage from the battle, the fighting did not spread this far, it seems. First scorch marks on the ground are doubtless from the enemy onslaught, or assault rather. The shop appears to have weathered the chaos, but wares have been strewn across the floor. Oh, Zeralja is guilty of so many more crimes. The port remains unscathed, but the enemy ships continue to loom overhead. There are 5 of them, but they seem to be more than enough. I've helped all those I could find, and seen them delivered into the Landsguard's care. As many casualties as there are, it would have been worse if the Landsguard hadn't fought as bravely as they did. If Zeralja actually meant to harm the people, look around. The buildings are hardly damaged. I suspect his aim was more to incite fear, to show that he could strike whenever he pleases. But we can discuss that later. Who is Lamati? Even after what happened to her father, she's trying so hard to fulfill her duty to the people. Still, everyone has their limits. She needs rest, and soon. Someone mentioned seeing her head towards the shore. She's gone to her gleam sands.
Steady now. I've brought you medicine. Drink.
There you are, Lamati. I was beginning to...
Dead.
Come on. Come on. Take it. Please.
Lamati. Lamati!
How could I?
No one could have seen this coming.
Look at me, Lamati. You need rest. You and him both. I will tend to this soul.
Come on.
But my people... I have to help them.
The Landsguard have matters well in hand. Trust in them. If there's another attack, your people will need you to protect them. They'll need you to be sharp. So please rest. Consider it your duty.
I stood before them all. Said that we'd build a nation where everyone knows happiness. So much for that promise. What good is a vow of resolve who cannot save her people?
Don't save your people by brooding.
You're right. This isn't the time for sulking.
That's it, I know what it's like.
Thank you.
Frontless.
My head's a little clearer now. I need to concentrate on what I can do, rather than what I can't. We've dealt with unfriendly factions before. From Yokhui still longing for conquest, to adherents of blessed siblings, people who are unwilling to listen. Even so, I believed that by learning about one another and engaging in good faith, we could peacefully settle our differences. And we did. But my brother is different. There will be no reasoning with him. He killed our people, our father. He'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. What's more, he has power. The power to destroy the peace we've worked so hard to preserve. If I'm to protect that peace, then I must fight. I must confront Zorolja and kill him.
Fine. I just needed a moment to settle my nerves. Thank you for being there for me. And for urging me on despite all my sulking. Sitting around complaining isn't very leader-like, is it? No, but it is very human. So much has happened so quickly. It's difficult to make sense of it all. The strange soldiers, those floating ships, the new powers Orolja commands. Given everything he's done, still intends to do, though I can't afford to run headlong into battle. Not this time. I cannot let this terrible pain in my heart lead me astray. But I will make it my strength. Going to do what I must. Right. I'm heading back to the palace. I need to talk strategy with Kaona. Could you and the others join us in a while? However we decide to proceed, I want you all to be aware of it. Oh, and could you tell Alice I'll be alright? She's probably a Bayside baby. Oh, you're back. By that, I mean, I take it to mean Lamity is feeling better? She needs to be strong for the people of Tyrell. I understand that. But she doesn't have to do it alone. So if she intends to fight, then we fight together. That said, I wish I knew exactly what we were up against. Yeah, I know what you mean. We at least knew what the Garleans were about. We knew about the Asians. This is new. It's clearly not a person. It doesn't look like any automaton or magitech weapon I've ever seen. As far and wide as you've traveled, though, perhaps you've encountered something similar before? Would you mind taking a closer look? It may yield some clues as to Seralja's new powers. Okay. Dismantling! In place of where the eyes or mouth might be, you see a strange sigil on the front of this helm. From a distance, it appears to be simple armor, but upon closer inspection, its construction is quite intricate. The material from which it is made is unclear, and you see no signs of a power source. The general shape of this weapon resembles a gun, but its construction suggests it's far more advanced than anything you've seen before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these people got the Garleans beat in tech. So, what do you think? It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Indeed, while it resembles a person, it has features that make it uncanny. The lack of a face, not least of all. Did you see any sign of a power source? Not that I could see on the surface. So it probably doesn't run on ceruleum or any other conventional fuels. I tried channeling ether into it earlier, but there was no response. That would seem to rule it out as an arcane entity. Completely lifeless now. Right from the unstoppable enemy it was in battle. Even the material it's made of is a mystery. Rather than a metal, it's more akin to stone. Wait, haven't we seen this somewhere recently? We have. The Sky Deep Cenote. It's right. The glowing stone used in that chamber with the gates to the Golden City. And while the soldiers are a different color, the warships are the same black. Are the same black as the stone of the gate itself. There has to be a connection. Let's share our observations with the others when we gather at Sunperch. The sooner we get to the bottom of this mystery, the better. Everyone is already here. I wasn't sure about the Dawnblazer glam, but it's really grown on me for the Viper.
Thank you for coming, everyone. And thank you for taking charge in the relief effort. We would have fared far worse without you.
Someone had to do it, that's all. Come, let's take stock.
In terms of casualties, at least 50 died in the attack. And many times that number are wounded. All available healers are seen to their care. Structural damage at least is limited, so essential business can be conducted without issue. That said, the people are understandably shaken. We must assuage their fears and begin working to restore things to normal as quickly as possible.
Now, the most confounding mystery remains our enemy. And their mechanical soldiers created with technology that surpasses anything I've ever seen. What is their nature? And how did Zoralja manage to bring them under his command? Such things remain unknown.
They emerged from the dome encasing Yasolani. We're quite certain of that much.
Speaking of the dome, we have some theories, I'm told.
Indeed. I would like to call upon some helpers to join the discussion. May I invite them here?
By all means.
It's me. Permission has been granted. You can come in.
Greetings, everyone.
Hey! Got Graha! And Yestola! Cat Bro and Cat Mom!
Raha! Y'shtola!
After that long voyage, I had hoped that we might be afforded a moment's rest. But I gather circumstances are quite dire.
Yeah?
All is well in the Annex, never fear. I've already dealt with the most pressing matters, and others hold the fort in my absence.
Good to have you both.
Following the changing of Dawn servants, Gulul Jar Jar spoke about the Golden City to his two successors. Thanks to Boom-a-loo, I was allowed to attend that meeting. What I heard led me to conclude that this was a matter for the students. Thus did I call upon our comrades who possess the requisite expertise. It was actually after that the dome manifested. But, based on what we know, I have reason to believe that it is connected to the Golden City.
While we're eager to help, we have limited familiarity with the situation. Might we trouble you to explain from the beginning?
As you know, it was a letter I found tucked away in the Baldessian Annex that brought me to Toral. A letter from the Dawn servant, addressed to my grandfather, sent some 20 years ago.
The request to investigate the City of Gold.
Indeed. The strange thing is, there was mention of neither Toral nor the city in our records. Hoping to learn the truth of my grandfather's mission, what he did and saw, I volunteered to help in the rite of succession. At the end of which, I was able to hear the tale from Gulul Jar Jar. Like us, my grandfather went to the deepest chamber of the Sky Deep cenote. And, like us, he saw the gate to the Golden City.
Is that what you required our help with? This gate?
It was. You see, the gate was opened once in the past. And
it led to another reflection.
I can take the story from here. Considering my part in these affairs, I reckon maybe I'm best equipped to speak on the matter. I was there too, you see. In those ruins, together with Galuf and Galul Jaja, and what I saw that day, I'll never forget.
Here it is. Thought I had a better handle on this.
This black stone is remarkable. I cannot help but wonder if the structures in this part of the ruins were built by a completely different civilization.
It was over 1,000 years ago that the giants mined here. Their records make no mention of glowing stones.
It harbors high concentrations of ether, and on the surface are what appear to be arcane patterns. They aren't Allegan, or Mahi, or Nemean. If anything, they put me in mind of the calculations of the South Sea Islanders, but even then...
Seven hells! What did you do?
Nothing.
An earthquake?
None of this has ever happened before.
A void gate? Nay, this is different. Baby? Now hold on. Why would you...
Maybe.
Now what's this?
Baby Lala feels so tiny.
What is this? Who are you?
Though it never opened again, Galuf continued to study the gate for years after that, hoping to learn something of value. All he could conclude was that it was built with unknown technology, and that it led to another world, one apart from the Void. We'd assumed the ruins themselves were the Golden City, only to discover that the real prize actually lay beyond the gate, and beyond our reach. Couldn't make head nor tail of the artifact either. As it had similar properties to the black stone in the ruins, we were convinced it was important. So Galul Jaja took it to the palace for safekeeping. Galuf, meanwhile, took the baby with him back to Charlian and raised her as his own.
Then the child was...
Trial.
The earring inside the letter to my grandfather. It was apparently found amongst my swaddling clothes.
Wait, then that means Carl's from another reflection.
If this is true, then it means that you hail from another reflection.
So it would seem. I still struggle to take it all in myself.
And there's a chance we could find your counterpart then.
Grandfather was always quick to seek distractions whenever I broached the subject. But never would I have guessed anything like this. But enough about me. We have more pressing matters.
The forces that assailed Tuliyola. You suspect they are somehow connected to the Golden City?
Thinking back on it, the soldiers looked like they could have been made from the same black stone.
And leading them was Sir Alja. His involvement also lends weight to the theory. On the day of the succession ceremony, a bandit took me unawares and knocked me out. When I came to, I found my home turned upside down, with a few particular items missing. Namely the keystones I was entrusted with, for my role as Watcher of the Gate.
The bandit? You believe that it was...
I only got a glimpse of him, but I was a blue-scaled Hubigo. I know of no other.
The artifact stored at the palace was also stolen. The thief struck during the ceremony, and the guard was spread thin.
So our assumption is Zoralja somehow opened that gate to another reflection, where he acquired advanced technology and his mechanical army.
It fits. And if he did, then it's also likely that the dome is a product of this unknown reflection.
Hold on. We've been going on and on about the reflections, but what of my home? What's become of it?
Good question. We're going to find out.
Indeed. Where it concerns other realities, I dare say the Scions are best suited to tackle the task.
You can say that again. We've been to the literal edge of existence. Some mysterious giant dome shouldn't scare us.
As you know, our order has ostensibly disbanded. We'd thank you to be discreet about our unofficial reunion.
Huh. Worry not. We'll spare no effort to get to the bottom of this. And with our hero eager to help, you can be confident of the results.
Now, the only one we're missing is Sataru. And Asinian. And Thancred and Orion-J.
If that's where my brother is, then that's where I must go. I can't say I understand everything you're discussing, but I know what I have to do. I have to put a stop to Zoroja and restore the people's happiness.
For lack of Thancred, I guess it will have to do.
Suffice it to say, I share Lamachi's desire to join you. However, under these circumstances, it would be unwise for both vows to be absent from the city. As such, I shall remain in Tuliolal. Come what may, I will protect our nation. So go forth, sister, and do what you must.
Thank you.
It may be prudent for us to likewise divide our forces. While one group ventures into the dome, the other keeps guard without.
Agreed. There's something I wish to investigate out here, so I will remain.
I as well. The enemy's warships still loom overhead, and I would see that we are prepared for the worst.
I wish to go to the dome. As a student, I have an obligation to investigate this potential threat to the world. But I'd be lying if I said I'm not deathly curious about my origins. If there's aught to be learned, then I want to learn it.
In that case, please let me come too. I have to see what's become of my home. I may not be a fighter, but I know those lands like the back of my hand. I can guide you.
If you hadn't offered, I would have asked. We're counting on you.
I'm not one for waiting around, so if it's all the same to you, I'll join the dome crew.
You should accompany them, Graha. I expect your knowledge and experience will be useful. In the meantime, I intend to learn what I can about the gate, and will keep you apprised of my findings. Pray do the same.
Assuming communication is possible from inside the dome, we'll maintain contact and share any developments.
It seems our teams are assembled. A fine roster, I think.
Looks good to me. We'll find a way to deal with the threat. For the sake of Tural.
Like for the sake of the world too.
Heartening to have you at our side for this. Thank you, everyone. Now, before we set off,
there's one thing I need to do. The people are still shaken by the attack, and I'd like to reassure them as best I can.
I know what I have to do now. I know we're in a hurry, but I need to set off. Before we do, I need to address my people. The peace we swore to uphold has been shattered. They need to understand what's happened and how we intend to fix it. So I want to call an assembly at the Winged Walk and assure them that all will be well. But as shaken as they are, I don't know how many will come. It's those who are most distressed that will need to hear your words. If you'd like, I shall seek out such souls and encourage them to attend. I'll help too. It's an important step. This is an important step in the city's recovery. Care to join us, Valzin? Shit, I guess. If you handle that, Airville and I will see to provisions for the expedition. Thank you. I'll go ahead and have the Landsguard announce the address. People must first know there's going to be one before they can decide whether or not they want to hear it. If you could see to the Resplendent Quarter and Bayside Bevy, LSA and I will split the rest of the city between us. The people we're missing are Thancred, Orionje, Estinian, and Tataru. And then the whole crew will be back together. The enemy, what will happen to us, to our homes, our farms, everything we worked so hard to build. Lives and communities and histories, all reduced to ash by these merciless villains. Now Woklumot is planning to address the people. What's the point? What can she and her brother possibly have to say? More than you think. Really? The Dawntrailers have a plan already? There's so much, yet they're prepared to carry on. Sitting around worrying about what's to come will change nothing. It would be a lie to say I'm hopeful for the future. But I will go and hear what they intend to do. I still can't believe it was attacked. For a mercy, my family was spared. I don't know what it was done had it come to harm. I understand Vow of Vermont is going to make an address soon. I'll be there, of course. Please, leave me be. My father is gone. Leave me to mourn. Gulul Jaja is slain, and yet Val Woklamat and Valkona still fight for our nation? For us? Very well. If they wish to speak, the least I can do is listen. Don't need to talk to that one. This guy. It is not safe here, not anymore. Could try to detour all, but where else is there to go? You look like a well-traveled sort. Please, I can't stay here. But I fear nowhere in Tural is beyond the enemy's reach. What of the lands across the Salt? I know, even if I ran, I know I'd regret it in the end. And after all, this is my home, and I know the Dawn servants would give their lives to defend her. I'll put my faith in them, and listen to what they have to say. So I got food and medicine as much as I can. And what else is there? I can't afford to forget anything. Sorry, sir, but I'm busy. Too much to do and too little time. There is no telling when the stone men will return. I have to get out of here and find somewhere safe. Can you just at least hear them out? What wants to speak to us? Perhaps she has a plan then. I suppose there's no harm in hearing what she has to say. But if I don't like it, I will run like the hells. Cleaning up is tiring. You've been busy helping as well, I'm guessing? Right now it's tough for everyone, but Tuliola wants to come to this. The new Dawntrail will protect and lead us, we'll get through it together. I got to leave now, but I'll just come back. And what are those strange machines looming overhead? So many questions. I see. It would put my mind at ease to learn something, anything of the threat she face. Alright then, I'll go to the winged walk. Thank you, I feel better already. And I'll be better still once I hear what the Dawn servants have to say. Be somewhere else I'm not looking. My only other lead is the composed birdman. Oh no, that's the flustered. I don't have time. I have to finish repairing this cot. There's only so much I can carry on my back. If those solid devils come again, I need to be ready. Now, Lamont and Valcona mean well, but they're young and inexperienced. They can barely look after themselves. If we're to survive, I do not know if I can count on them. They're going to strike back at the enemy? So I'll have to face this.
It's too late to be thinking of running. Right? Go and hear their address. I have returned. Looks like you brought quite a few people. Thank you. Alize had actually returned ahead of you. Upon hearing that you were still out there, she decided she was unsatisfied with her own efforts and left again. My apologies for involving you all in Turali affairs. We are simply helping dear friends in need. Having traveled the lands of Tural, sharing in the rich cultures of your people, I can see it no other way. Besides, we're used to this. It's more, Zavalja and his army pose a threat not only to Tural, but to the star as a whole. Stand with you to protect what you hold dear. Thank you. I don't expect to have had much, if any, rest. How are you holding up? I'm fine. Thanks for a little encouragement from Valzen. Just doing my usual. You needn't worry about me either. Whatever weariness I feel is no match for my desire to protect my people. To restore peace to the nation and preserve our father's legacy. It begins by speaking to the people from our hearts. Right. I need to see to a few things first. But feel free to go ahead to the plaza and wait. Their father raised them well. That he did.
Lamachi, are you all right?
Yes. Don't worry. I'm ready for it. The fear, and sadness, and anger. Everything.
I am the reason to your resolve. But more than that, I am your brother. You needn't bear this burden alone. Remember this.
As you likely already know, my father, our former Dawn servant, lost his life in the recent attack. He challenged the enemy leader to a duel and fought with skill and valor, and for a moment we believed he had won. wielding an unknown power. His foe returned from death and struck him down. I could only watch as this happened. I could not tarnish my father's honor by interfering. Many of you have suffered terribly. You've taken wounds. You've lost friends and family. As vow of resolve, I failed in my duty to protect you. Words can't express the shame and regret I feel. And as much as it pains me to reveal this, the enemy leader was none other than my brother Zoralsha.
Zoralsha? It's true! I saw him!
We believe he staged the attack from Yasulani, which has been encased within a mysterious dome. I know that you're concerned for your loved ones there as well. But mark my words, I won't let Zoralsha torment us any further. Our father gave his life to protect our nation, and I'm prepared to do the same.
You say that, but those metal monstrosities are still up there in the sky. What are you going to do about them?
The enemy is still on our doorstep, and waiting for them to strike again accomplishes nothing. That's why we're going to strike first. We are going to take the battle straight to Zoralsha and put an end to it all.
And while my sister sallies forth, I will take charge of the city's defenses. Not another soul will come to harm. We swear to you.
Like our father before us, we will lead with resolve and reason to restore peace to our nation. So please, have patience and faith.
So the resolve goes on the attack, while reason shores up the defenses. Sounds like a fine plan. Needless to say, you can count on my sword. Dural's my home, and I'll do my part for it.
Hear, hear, brother.
That makes two of us. Or was that two of we? Never mind that. What of the rest of you? Will you let others do the work? Or will you do your part and fight?
We fight! We fight! We're Tuliolans because we're united! We'll stand with you and weather this storm! He's right. This is our nation, and it falls to us to protect it.
We'll fight too! For Tuliolan!
Me too! Me too!
We're all together in this!
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
We've already learned much about our foe, and we will continue to learn more. In time, we will have the means to make their warships fall from the sky. we join hands with our countrymen and our allies from afar, we're stronger than we dare to hope. Together, let us show the enemy the might of Tuli Yolal.
You are the beating heart of our nation, each and every one of you. Uncertain days lie ahead, but for now, I ask you to persevere, to go about your lives as you always do. Only then can we ensure we have the resources to see our nation through these trials. And when the time comes, we will strike. Tuliyola will not fall. We will prevail, and peace and happiness will be ours again.
Listening to Wuklamot Nakona, I was reminded of my time in the First. While the Exarch was no king, I often found myself speaking before the people of the Crystarium in like manner. Through their deeds, they answered me. People of Tyrell, too, will rise to the occasion. This I can tell. Well, the hour of departure is at hand. Those of us remaining here shall accompany you part of the way. I, for one, would like to see the dome firsthand. We set forth as soon as everyone is ready. I will inform Wuklamot then. There you all are! Lamity! We were just planning to call on you. Are you ready to leave? I am. Seeing the people come together as one, knowing I haven't given up hope, it was all the encouragement I could ask for. Right then, let's get going. We leave for Zaktaral Skygate. Alright, this is usually the time where I'm supposed to, call the stream. And, unfortunately, while I would love to keep going, actually, there is some maintenance going on today, so, sorry. But, thank you all for tuning in, those who decided to drop on by. I hope to get back into the swing of this as soon as I can. And there it is. Connection with the server was lost. So, yeah. As always, you can follow me on Blue Sky at Rippington. And I'll catch you all next time. See you later!